everybody. It's good to have you all here. I want to go to Igal first because obviously your unbeaten run comes to an end. It wasn't the greatest of performances, but do you feel aggrieved after those big refereeing mistakes today?
Okay, absolutely, Terry. I feel we got robbed straight up. That goal shouldn't have stood. The situation you can look up to, lead up to it. You could talk about everything else, but that goal shouldn't have stood. That game should have ended 0-0 at best. The referee had a foul on Gabriel Magalhaes from what do you call it, Joe Linton. That should have been one. Number two, the ball is out of play. The ball is out of play. Like, even if that's not even it, then there's a possible offside with Anthony Gordon. That's three situations. Then earlier in the game, you have a situation where Bruno Guimaraes' forearms hits his forearm on Jorginho's head, and they say, "Oh, because it's his forearm and it's not his elbow, it's not violent conduct." Since when is a forearm to somebody's head not violent conduct? Honestly, I could talk about the refereeing performance all day and every day because I feel like we absolutely got robbed and that was disgusting from that referee. But this is what we expect in the Premier League. If you're not good enough on the day and you don't score 2 goals and you don't take your chances, there's always a possibility where a referee will screw you and you'll be aggrieved. In the actual reality, I'm pissed off in the referee performance, but I'm equally pissed off at the team's performance. I thought the team didn't do well overall in the final third. I thought we had opportunities to capitalize on our chances. We didn't take our chances. We always are looking for the extra pass or take the extra touch. But Bukayo Saka, when you have the ball and it lands to your feet right on the edge of the box, you used to just strike it first time near post above the keeper. Do that next time. But overall, Terry, I'm aggrieved by the refereeing decisions. I feel like this is an absolute robbery. This game should have been a 0-0. And at best, we should have probably got a draw. This was an even game. But you know what? Newcastle take the points, and sometimes these things happen, and we just have to suck it up. But I wouldn't be surprised if the PGO came out with another refereeing apology for something here. And I don't want anyone to tell me, "Yo, cry about it," because guess what? Every single one of you guys, every single one of you rival fans would be sitting here and saying the exact same thing if it happened to your team. But hey, it happened to Arsenal. It is what it is.
I get you on that, Jay. And I know you don't have the greatest amount of time tonight. We'll come back to Igal with some more questions later. What was your thoughts on the performance? Do you also feel, though, that the referees screwed you today?
Just like I said last game, I saw the lineup. I said we've lost. The only thing, let me just start with one positive, which is the only positive, which is hardly a positive because it's minimum expectation. But in the first half, we were fighting. We were fighting a bit. The boys put out some fight. Now, the truth, this Havertz and Eddie stuff, it's not good enough. It pisses me off every time I see them playing. We don't create nothing. We get to the final third and they're looking around. There's no link up. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. And it happened throughout the game. I was calling for Trossard to come on. Even Fabio V, that's not great. I was calling for subs and changes. And when does it happen? When we're losing. I kept saying, be proactive. It's 0-0. Be proactive. But we're being reactive. Why are we being reactive for? Then towards the end of the game, they're throwing all the men forward, they're trying, but it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. This delusion about Eddie, he's not good enough. He's just not good enough. I don't know what guys want us to do. He's not good enough. How many times we have to have up and down feelings or be uncertain about Eddie and Nketiah? If you're uncertain about an Arsenal player, the truth is he's not good enough. Can't keep getting upset about the inevitable. It's facts. He's not good enough. And Havertz and Eddie on the pitch, you're sitting there and you're watching it and
Bro, Havertz was actually good today. I don't know what you think.
What did you say? Havertz was good today.
Yeah, Havertz was good today.
What was good about him today?
I thought he had a good
because it's better than he has.
I thought he had a good performance in the first half. I thought he had a good performance in the first half. Obviously, he drove the ball, created some chances. We just didn't capitalize on it.
What did he create? Now you got Don here smiling all about. What did he create?
Nah, bro. Go back to the first half. You do not see Kai
What
Havertz
chance
driving
did we
with
have
the
in
ball.
the first half? What chance did we have?
Obviously, Eddie and Nketiah didn't do anything with it, but he was driving from the midfield from deep, winning the ball, taking the ball, going all the way. He was doing his job.
So he was just being a footballer, basically.
That's the minimal expectation again. He's a £1 million player.
Guess what?
Oh, he drove with the ball. Who gives a shit?
I don't care what anybody tells me. Talk shit about all the other players, but I feel like Kai Havertz leave this game with his head held high, even though we lost.
Well, because you got 3 Newcastle players booked.
You disagree with that,
not
Brandon?
because he got 3 Newcastle players booked. Because he actually was one of the people in the midfield who was holding it down for us.
This is
the midfield
if we
was
keep
not what lost
deluding
us
ourselves,
the
we're going to keep being upset throughout the season.
I understand. Let me just jump in a sec, boys. Brandon, what do you make of Igal's opinion that Kai Havertz had a good game today?
Absolute rubbish, Toal. I'm sorry, Igal, but that is the bare minimum. Oh, he picked up the ball when he started driving with it. Who fucking cares, man? He's £65 million player. You expect a lot better. And the reality is, okay, he probably wasn't one of our worst performers today, but he still did nothing. He did nothing. The whole team did nothing. Yeah, we was crap. And yet, I'm not going to sit here and say we got what we deserve, because at the end of the day, Tel, it's another game where we're all going to be sitting here, and the talking point is incompetent referees and VAR decisions yet again. You know, in the biggest league in the world with the most eyes on it, and we can't even get the decisions correct. Right?
Facts.
It's fucking unbelievable.
What can we do when
all that's I've had enough of it, right? The fact of the matter is that goal shouldn't have stood. Three different things there that they could have ruled that game off, that goal off for, and it should have been ruled off. The Bruno Guimaraes one, right, should have been a red card, but then at the same time, you could say Kai Havertz should have been sent off as well, because his tackling the first half is maybe, you know, not quite a red card, but then when he makes that stupid challenge in the second half and he doesn't get a second bookable, that's not a second bookable offence. For me, that's a bookable offence again. So once again, we have to kind of look at it in that aspect. Okay, Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off, but maybe Kai Havertz should have been as well. But then, you know, again, like I say, we're talking about incompetent referees, incompetent VAR decisions. We've not even got the best technology in the best and most biggest league in world football. That's how ridiculous this is. But then at the same time, right, we did nothing to deserve winning that game anyway. Yeah, we did nothing. We defended really well. Newcastle defended really well. I see 2 teams out there that basically cancelled each other out, because both teams going forward are absolutely shocking, created absolutely nothing. We had 1 shot on target all game again today. 1 shot on target. Right? I don't know what's happened to our attack since last season, but we have died since last season in terms of going forward. Saka don't look the same. Martinelli don't look the same. Nketiah, he scores a hat-trick against Sheffield United, goes missing for another 3 or 4 games afterwards. That's Eddie Nketiah for you. You know, the manager, again, my man said it perfectly. Yeah, be proactive with your substitutions. Instead, we're being reactionary again. Instead, I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, yeah, it's that 70-minute mark again. Arteta's decided to bring on a sub again. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing every single game. Every single game, whether we're winning, losing, doesn't make no difference. Arteta waits till the 70th minute, like he's prime Arsene Wenger, before he makes a change. What do you expect? This is what's going to happen. When you come up against decent teams like Newcastle, this is what's going to happen. And this is why I was so annoyed when we went out the Carabao Cup. Because that was a trophy where we could actually go and win that. You know, this league's going to be difficult to win, especially playing in the way that we're playing right now. The Champions League's going to be difficult to win. And we need major surgery in January, because it's simply not good enough. Every time we go to the midfield, sideways, backwards, bullshit. Yeah, we can't get our attacking players in the game. They look disinterested. It's pathetic, really. You know, if we didn't have such a solid defense, then...
Mate, I hear you. Definitely in the attack. I want to ask, we're going to come back. Everyone's going to get a chance to speak. We're going to go through some super chats in a minute. But Souls, Gary Neville was talking about it during the game, the lack of firepower. I watched Eddie Nketiah today, who up against a good team with a good defense, just looked... He looked limp. He looked flaccid. He looked like it wasn't his level. Is that an area that come January you've got to go big and get a proper number 9, especially for when Jesus is out?
I mean, people were asking for apologies. What was it last week? Because he scored a goddamn hat-trick. I've been telling you, man, this guy is shit. I'm going to call it out for what it is. I'm not even going to hold back my words. The guy is awful. I don't even think he should be playing for a top 10 or even a mid to, 10 to 20th place Premier League team. Scores 1 hat-trick. I told you, that's his goal credit. for the next 10 games done. He's not going to score for the next 10 games. He's not going to score for the next probably 20 games until Jesus is back, unless we get another bum team that we need to play. But at the end of the day, right, it's what we get called, labeled is we're negative. We don't want to back the process. We're not Arsenal fans, but this, with that. Now you're out of the Carabao Cup. We're potentially going to be dropping this league again. What are we going to win this season? We have to get a striker. There's no choice in the matter. Get that checkbook open like he has been. The owners are not at fault here. If Arteta, right, goes and says to them, I need a striker, he gets one. He goes and tells them, I want Victor Osimhen, he gets Victor Osimhen. He tells them, go and get me Mbappe, they will try and get him Mbappe. That's how these owners have been moving. But the guy's decided to go and spend £65 million on Kai Havertz. He's decided to go and spend £105 million on Declan Rice. He has decided to spend this money. He's had the luxury to spend. But he's decided that those are more important. Letting Granit Xhaka go this season was more important than getting a goal scorer in. It was better to let Florian Balogun go and not give him an opportunity and keep Eddie Nketiah. He has actively made these decisions. Leandro Trossard, a guy who has been bailing him out since he's come to this club, can't even get 45 minutes on the pitch. How many more times, right, are we going to protect the manager when he is constantly making the same mistakes? We're having the same conversations when we lose. The thing is, no one can sit here and say, because I have backed this process more than a lot of the Arteta owners. I have never doubted him until now. And the reason I do that is because we're having the same conversations. You can go and play back last year, and we're having the same conversation. We need a striker. We need this position. We need this position. But what do? They come undone. We keep talking about these 10 out of 10 transfer windows. Where is it? This is Arteta's squad. This is his 25-man squad. I don't want to hear an excuse. He chose to keep Eddie Nketiah. He has to make it work. And he hasn't. Because every single time these guys, even, you know what, it's not even Eddie Nketiah, but Bukayo Saka, another player getting rewarded for mediocrity. Once he getting dropped, properly getting dropped, making a statement to say, do you know what, you want to drop these stinkers, you're on the bench. When is Martinelli going to have the same treatment? When does Eddie Nketiah, when's enough? When is enough for this manager? The guy is moving like Ten Hag. When Sancho called it, Ten Hag out for having favourites, Arteta, someone needs to call Arteta out. I hope Trossard does it. Because the reality of the matter is, this guy has his favourite players he wants to protect, and he's giving all the minutes to them. Regardless of form, the guy doesn't play players on merit. He plays them because he likes them. And that's what's costing us right now. Trossard should have come on way earlier. Carabao Cup, same mistake. We were 1-0 down. That's the time you make a change. That's when you stamp your authority. Your attackers aren't attacking, you get them off the pitch. So you can sit here, we can blame Eddie Nketiah about who's picking him. That's where the root cause of this issue is. And a lot of people can say it's reactionary, but I've been saying it all season. And not one person has been able to debunk what I've been saying about this manager this season. Oh, we've been unbeaten. What about now? What's your excuses now? What are you going to rebunk it with now?
Souls, I hear where you're coming from. I want to go to a gal on this. Do you agree with what Souls is saying here in terms of starting to doubt Arteta? He's getting favourites. He's not seeing obvious mistakes and problems. The likes of Saka are not being dropped. Like, what is as a fellow Gooner, what is your opinion on what Souls has just said?
My issue is chance creation. That's the biggest issue for me. Why is it we're not creating enough chances throughout this game, and why is it that our attackers are not clicking? That's the main thing for me. We speak about the midfield, we speak about the players missing, but the real biggest issue we've had this season, it was kind of masked by the last game versus Sheffield United because we scored how many goals we did. But the lack of chance creation, I think we only had one shot on target in the whole 90 minutes. And we didn't really test Newcastle's goal. So we can talk about substitutions, we can talk about everything else. But the real issue comes down to our attack has not been clicking all season. And that's where Mikel Arteta is faltering the most, I would say.
But the thing is, though,
if you want to talk about the substitution, he should have subbed off Eddie. Eddie was injured, guys. He couldn't even walk at certain points of the game because he had like a dead leg or something. He should have been taken off. So another substitution issue there. But overall, I'm still not gonna overreact. I'm still not gonna go crazy. I just think this guy needs to fix up with his attacking third. And we're not gonna be able to get anybody in until January. So he has to manage with what he has to his disposal. And an issue he had from last season and the year before is when things don't go to script and players are out, what is his problem solving? Mikel Arteta needs to improve on his problem solving skills.
Nah, he ain't got no excuse. I don't care.
The manager he's struggling with that. That's what
the same players are injured again. So what is his excuse? He knows Thomas Partey's getting injured. He knows Gabriel's going to get injured.
Odegaard being out on the final day, like.
So what? He bought Fabio Vieira to cover that. He bought Kai Havertz to cover that. Didn't he not?
Playing that position as well.
We got injuries as well.
Listen, I'm actually agreeing with you on that point.
But the thing is, though, Terry, this is the thing, yeah. Like, hold on, yeah, Terry, this is the thing, yeah. Like, look, I've been speaking about Arsenal the whole season, saying how. Can you hear me? Wait, let me come back.
Internet's bugging out a little. Yeah, come back in a second. There.